mentally, emotionally, and spiritually comes when you get knocked down. How you handle it, that's where the growth takes place. What has brought you to this point? What did you learn from it? Are you learning anything, or are you doing it over and over and over again? Are you going through it, or are you growing through it? Are you bigger and better because of it? Things are going to happen to you, and the most important thing to do is to harness your will and let it go. I'm in control here. I'm not going to let this get me down. I'm not going to let this destroy me. I'm coming back. And I'll be stronger and better because of it. You have got to make a declaration that this is what you stand for. You're standing up for your dreams. You're standing up for peace of mind. You're standing up for health. You want it. And you're going to go all out to have it. Yes, I'm going to turn this situation around. I'm not going to sit back and moan and cry over what happened and what went wrong and who did what. I'm going to do something about this situation. Expect things to get better for you, because they are. See, life is cyclic. Whatever experience you're having right now, it has not come to stay. It has come to pass.
Imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing around your deathbed are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential, the ghost of the ideas you never acted on, the ghost of the talents you didn't use. And they're standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, and upset. They say, we came to you because you could have brought us to life, they say. And now we have to go to the grave together. So I ask you today, how many ghosts are going to be around your bed when your time comes?
In order to do something you've never done, you must be born again. But most people are living like they're living because of the fact that they don't believe they can have any more than what they now have. They accept the reality that they have been given. You have something special. You have talents and abilities in you that you don't even know. First step is you got to live your calling. You got to decide what is it you love.
Don't listen to the naysayers. I mean, how many times have you heard that you can't do this, you can't do that, and it has never been done before? Yes, you can.
I want you to think about this goal that you want. I want you to envision it and see it in your mind's eye. And every day say to yourself, I can do this. I can make this happen.
There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living. You will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something. There's no doubt about it.
I don't want you to be the next Oprah. I don't want you to be the next Obama. I don't even want you to be the next me. I want you to be you.
That you're going to have some ups and you're going to have some downs. You're going to have people to do things to you. Things are going to happen to you. And the most important thing to do is to harness your will and let it go.
If you don't fail, you're not even trying. Every failed experiment is one step closer to success.
You have to trust in something. Your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. Because believing that the dots will connect down the road will give you the confidence to follow your heart, even when it leads you off the well-worn path. And that will make all the difference.
You've got genius in you. You have some special stuff in you. You were born to win. You want it. And you're going to go all out to have it. If it's hard, then do it hard. You've got to be willing to do the things that others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have.
Do you know how powerful you are?
Whatever your gift is, what are you going to do with what you have?
Your freedom and happiness has been restricted by a story that you never double-checked. You never double-checked the narrative you never cross-referenced the narrative that you were fed. You believed it hook, line, and sinker, and now your happiness will be diminished. People in general do not want their belief systems to be challenged. They want to hear things that pump them up. They don't want to be consistently challenged. So the reason why what people often do is they use groupthink in order to save themselves mental energy, and then they parrot back the opinions of the herd because they think that that gets them approval and safety. Literally the mental prisons that you're initially fed that stifle you down, and then now you are the jailer. You are your own worst enemy. These guys that are like, I don't agree, it's ever good, ghosts are the best. He literally is his own jailer now. He is hurting himself now. It's so crazy. Most people, however, have a very groupthink strategy. The problem with a groupthink strategy is that you have the sheep and the wolves. The wolves eat the sheep. Everybody is willing to pay to be told what to think and what to do. Basically, the wolves are people that are not mentally lazy. If you want to be a wolf in life, you have to be okay with a high degree of uncertainty, ambiguity. Realize that you are in a cultural hypnosis. So the biggest thing that I've realized over the past year, I'd say, because I like to share my biggest epiphanies when I come to Summit of the Year, is the severity of mass cultural hypnosis. It is a lot more severe than I ever really understood. We're all influenced by our social environment. We are not isolated little fucking islands. We are permeable membranes. So what I realized over time, you have to be very controlling of what you choose to let into your headspace. Okay? Massively controlling. You have to be aware of what's getting in. Don't let in shit that you have thought through and that you don't want to let in. Okay? So, if you want to move ahead in the world, you have to really pull yourself out of easy thinking. Don't look for the easy truths. Some truths are easy. Keep things simple, but never simpler than they actually are. Make it as simple as it can be, but don't make it simpler than it actually is. You have to choose your influences very carefully and choose what am I putting into myself very carefully. Then what you have to do is you have to have a very strong personal boundary of anything that's not moving you in that direction. But to do this, I think, to make it practical and to pull it off, you have to have a reason why you're doing it. There has to be something that motivates you to do that. With increased purpose, it's like your gravity increases and it increases your personal boundaries. Most people's behavior day to day, if you think about it, is coping behavior. They're just trying to cope. They don't feel great and they're just trying to fucking cope. Assume failure. Assume that you will be a failure. Assume that failure is the default unless you fix it. have to be on top of your shit. Every minute that goes by, if you're on a life mission, you're going by, it's not happening, you're losing time. This is not up for debate. You're losing time. If you'd used the time better, you could have done more. If you used the time worse, you could do less. Think of a mission. Think of the fucking higher universal values that you would have to embody to accomplish it, and just spend your time moving in that direction. Think bigger. Bigger thoughts. What I realized what was satisfying to me was finding higher values and the struggle and journey of embodying those values. That's where I really found happiness.
We have our dreams, our passion for a reason. It is not by chance. Whatever vision you have for yourself, somehow you've been gifted with this inner voice, this spectacular talent and potential that's never ending. And most people never live up to that. Understand that what has been given to you has been given to you particularly, specifically, for a reason. You're one of a kind. You're something special. Don't cheat yourself out of that by living an average life. Life is hard, yeah, that's right. You're gonna experience some struggles, some pain, some hardships. But it's not about what happens to you. Because these things, whether you believe it or not, happen to everyone. But it's the way that you respond to these things that really makes you stand out. That's what makes a difference. You will never be able to control everyone and everything around you. You can't always choose what happens, but you can choose what you're going to do about it. That's fully and entirely up to you. Most people will make excuses, but if you want things to go your way, take full responsibility. Because that means you have the power to change it. It's up to you to make a difference. The power is in your hands. Now think about that for a second. That's all the power you need, the ability to impact and change anything. It's up to you. You have to switch out of that pity victim mentality and never look back. What gives your life meaning? What gives it purpose? What drives you? The voices in your head telling you that you are not good enough, that you can't make it happen, as well as maybe even the people around you saying those things. It has to stop. It has to end. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. You have to do better than that. You have to step up with some power. Make a statement to the universe. I am capable. I am powerful. I not only can, but I will make it happen. Only you can claim your own power. Nobody else can do that for you. You're designing your own future right now. You're crafting, you're creating right now. You're making your own experience. There are some abilities, some talents, some gifts you have that absolutely no one else can tap into except for you.
Fighting change is a losing battle. Freedom and happiness are found in the flexibility and ease with which we move through change. And obviously, I can't stress how important this is. So I want to start off by bringing your attention to a natural human trait, and that is that we love comfort. Human beings are creatures of habit. We love comfort, predictability, stability, just things remaining the same, just being able to relax, like no surprises. We love that, and we love it too much. What the fuck's wrong with loving comfort too much? And therein lies the problem and the source of a lot of frustration and unhappiness for a lot of people. Now, why is that? You need things like discomfort, unpredictability, things to be changing in order to grow and become more anti-fragile of a person. The main reason is simply the fact that in this world, nothing is stable. okay? Everything is constantly changing. And that's the natural course of life. As human beings, we're creatures of habit. We like comfort. We like, things to remain the same. We really, really hate change. We like anything that's, chaotic or, the unknown. And if you look at your life situation now, okay, like just really think of it, like where you are in life, and you go back a year or two, I doubt that it was very different. Okay, unless you've already been taking tons of action, it's probably the same. Okay, or very similar. It's like you might have a new, promotion. You might be a little ahead, say, if you're going to university or something. But, you're probably the same person. Okay, it's like you haven't changed much, and it's just going to keep going that way. Okay, it's not going to get better. And what I want to address today are a series of excuses that I hear all the time. I'm not in the mood. I just don't feel like it. I don't have the energy. I'm tired. I'm just tired. And I think I need to read more theory about this, before kind of like mastering this, achieving success. And basically all these excuses here, are just blaming the current circumstances. It's like, I would do it, but the current circumstances really don't allow it. So it's not really my fault. It's just that, the circumstances suck. Okay? And this frame of mind here, okay, this is what you truly believe, and you're just blaming the circumstances, is going to hold you back, and ultimately, trust me when you hear me say this, you will never achieve any fucking type of success.
Should have stayed, were the signs I ignored. Can I help you not to hurt anymore? We saw brilliance when the world was asleep. There are things that we can have but can't keep. If they say, who cares if one more light goes out in the sky of a million stars? It flickers, flickers. Who cares when someone's time runs out? If a moment is all we are, or quicker, quicker. Who cares if one more light goes out? Well, I do. The reminders pull the floor from your feet. In the kitchen, one more chair than you need. Oh, and you're angry, and you should be. It's not fair. Just 'cause you can't see it doesn't mean it isn't there. If they say, who cares if one more light goes out in the sky of a million stars? It flickers, flickers. Who cares when someone's time runs out? If a moment is all we are, or quicker, quicker. Who cares if one more light goes out? Well, I do. flickers, flickers. Who cares when someone's time runs out? If a moment is all we are, or quicker, quicker. Who cares if one more light goes out? I do.
Okay, I think we're good now. Sorry, guys. Gotta go cook. Nice. What are you cooking? What up, JC Real, my dude? How you doing, bro? Oh man, so first stream back from Korea. Korea was crazy. We've had even crazier times since we've come back. Everyone's just been sick. Like, my boy got it. Now the wifey's got it. Fingers crossed. Hopefully your boy doesn't get it, but we'll see. Been crazy, but Korea was a crazy time. What did Casper say? My LP drops soon on SoundCloud. Can't wait to see how public it goes. That's dope, dude. You'll definitely have to make sure you send me the link on that. I head into a hockey game? Nice, which game? Yeah, so today, we're not gonna run the open mic tonight. Just kind of catching up with you guys. Missed you guys. And we're gonna talk about, Korea, talk about upcoming plans for the stream. September's coming up here, so welcome home. Thank you, Rinley. Appreciate it. And guys, big shout out to Rinley. Rinley's actually designing the sub badges. So for those now that affiliates have those badges to mark how long you've been a streamer or how long you've been subbed to a channel, so she's actually working on those. She has the concept down. I have to test them out and stuff like that here, but big shout out to her. Who are you? I'm the guy that went to Korea and came back and is learning how to stream. Who are you? I'm just kidding. What's up, Venturous? How you doing, bro? Hope you guys are doing well, man. Who are you? That's funny. Alright, guys. So, I don't know where to start. Flight to Korea was hella long. Should have stayed in Korea. Damn, the shade. I'm at the studio. Well, maybe you should stay there. Maybe you should stay at the studio for good, permanently. Don't ever come out. I'm joking. Kinda. Yeah, like, so it was the first day to flying to Korea was crazy. We did, so we got up like 7:30, I think. We were at the airport by like 9 o'clock. Our flight didn't leave till 11. And then we flew to San Francisco. We had a 3-hour layover and then the 13-hour flight. So we spent like 18, 19 hours between the airplane, car, or airport. And then on the way back was like a 21-hour because we had a longer flight back, or delay on the flight back. So, flight-wise, it was fine. Korean Air is actually pretty cool. They provide really good service, and Yeah, that's one way of putting it. Exhausting for sure. Hey, thank you for the host, my dude. Appreciate it. Why are none of my That's interesting. Do I have an alert box that wants to show anything? Maybe? Hey, Genocidal, thank you for the host as well. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, Korean Air was dope. The meals were pretty good. They had like a bunch of stuff, you know, they had games, movies, TV shows, like a playlist of all kinds of music for you to listen to. So they do everything in their power to make sure that you're not bored. When you get in, they give you like a blanket, they give you headphones, they give you slippers, you know, to wear so you can like get comfy. It's pretty nice. And then when we basically got to Korea, like, holy cow, I just had permanent swamp ass, guys. It was so hot the entire time. We stopped to watch a band that was playing nearby. Band is called Paralysis. Nice, dude. Speaking of bands, we ran into a guy I went to high school with, that I played football with yesterday. And he actually gave me a CD to listen to his on Spotify. So, I don't know if you guys are into industrial music, but you can definitely check him out on Spotify. It's Jay Madly, M-A-D-L-Y. He's only got 4 tracks on there. This is his first album release, but I've known him and of his guitar work before. But he's just released everything here, so if you guys want to check it out, show him you know, some love. And even if you told him who Poetic Justin was, or told him that I sent you, he wouldn't even know my name. That's what I go by. But again, if you guys are into some industrial music, try and look out some new artists. Definitely worth checking them out. So, also won't be able to come on open mic. I'm so fucking tired. Don't worry about it, dude. We're actually not even doing an open mic today. We're recovering as a family, honestly. Like, today was kind of hard to even just get on the mic today, or on the stream, but I figured that, you know, for those of you guys who are part of the community, you know, I wanted to come in and say hi. It's been a while, you know, and there's so many different changes too with that's going to be coming up here. So, you know, it's September, where I got to start getting on the hand binding these poems. I decided that as we hand bind these, we're also going to put them up, available on iTunes and on Amazon, so you can basically download the poetry directly to like your Kindle or your phone or whatever as well, so that way you guys can support that way. What else? We're going to be looking at doing some podcasts. You guys remember Ember Devil and Procession, and then another friend of mine. So basically we're gonna have 4 unique perspectives talking about kind of, I guess, debatable content. You know, like my friend Sean, he is a flat earth believer. Okay. Ember Devil is the complete opposite, you know, but they're both very anti-religion. I'm very religious. And then Processions is agnostic, you know, so I have like a group of friends that are ranged in all kinds of different backgrounds. And so we're going to basically do start looking at doing podcasts of, you know, basically different takes of what people, what they believe in, and how we can have basically interaction and connection just by having conversation without basically like the stupid fighting that you see on social media or Facebook or something like that. So you're going to be able to actually come in and listen to the podcast in terms of different perspectives, you know, all at the same time. So I think it's going to be really cool. A couple artists here that I've reached out to start working with on things to really get creative. Ventress is definitely one. Rinley, I know that we've talked about it in the past here, to have a couple of other artists while we do kind of maybe some art battles. So that'll be some creative moments there. Flat earther, honestly, like, I don't really care. Flat around, like, it doesn't impact me one way or the other, right? And if somebody is researching, somebody is deep thinking, somebody is putting the time and effort to actually come up with facts and bigger picture perspective, right? They're questioning things. They're not just taking things as it's been told to them, right? I'm okay with that, somebody expanding their mind, you know what I mean? So, other people don't feel the same way, about conspiracy or about theories and things like that, but again, what you'll see is that you'll see a lot of dialogue in the podcast, and I really have to kind of sit down and figure out how long of a podcast we're going to be doing. I've also been thinking of doing, I'm probably going to do like a email listing. So you guys will have to let me know if that's something that you want to do. But what we'll be doing on that email notification thing is this can basically be me sending poetry or quotes, just something for you to kind of have, maybe when you wake up in the morning or when you check your emails at night or during the day, something like that, just to kind of keep you inspired throughout the week. Obviously don't get paid to stream, full time, and, have to make a living, taking care of the family and stuff like that. So, but I need that inspiration, often as well. And it's hard to always kind of keep up with like Discord and, reach out to people and stuff like that. But if I have like a email sign up notification, something like that, if you guys are interested, just let me know, and then I'll figure it out, and then we'll put you on that. And of course, you'll be able to unsubscribe at any time. But that allows me to kind of give you guys an update as to what I'm doing. It also allows me to kind of send out a massive notification for, quotes or poetry or something like that. Something that you guys just kind of have like something that's there in the middle of the week. So what else were we gonna do? Another podcast idea too, is just doing kind of like a quick poetry check-in, because I have the blog. I don't really use the blog as much as I would like to. I don't have like necessarily the time, but even more importantly, a lot of people don't have the time to go and read the blogs, right? It's nice to have when you have the time, but ultimately most people would prefer like a interactive format. So I think that we're going to transition all the poems into that digital poetry. So I'll still have the blogs for you guys, for subs and people that I write poems for. Those will still go on the blog, but now we're going to go ahead and re-record those, and we're going to go ahead and put them up on YouTube and also on the podcast. So again, this is all basically new stuff here, so it's completely out of my realm. I'm not familiar with how to set these up here, so if you guys know anything, if you want to be a part of that to help out, would love the assistance. But we're going to get it done here. So those are just kind of the new things that's coming here. We're going to be doing a lot more creative and a little bit less on the IRL. We're going to be moving around the open mic to different days throughout the week, so it'll change. That way we can get a different audience, as well as, having some of the people come back. And then we're definitely going to be reaching out to a lot more different type of audience too, in terms of the streams. So we have, some cosplayers who are going to be coming in, and we have workshops that we're going to be doing. It's crazy. So all these things basically just came within like 2 weeks of clarity. One of the biggest moments I think in Korea was when we went to Seoul Tower, and basically I think we were like 4 days in already, or 5 days in. No, we had to have been more than that. I think we'd been there for like a week. Anyway, we were just like so hot. walk around, my feet, my heels were so in so much pain, really. And basically, like, it was, I don't know, I think it was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And we basically decided to go check out Seoul Tower. So we went through the park, and it's like a mile-long hike, like up these stairs. And then all of a sudden, like, the park is really cool because you look over and you're like on top of the city. You can overlook like all of downtown. And then they have all these different like monuments, right? So they have like the guy who started Korea, you know, and he's got like this big monument out there. And then so there's all kinds of different things out there. And then basically, like, you get through the park and you get to the parking lot, and they're like, oh yeah, if you want to go to Seoul Tower, you got to keep going. So then we walk like another half mile just to get to the bottom of the forest area, and it's like a 3-mile hike or 4-mile hike from there. So we'd end up basically walking like 5.5 miles, and this hike through the forest is just this windy road, you know what I mean? Every once in a while there's like a little bench, and first of all, it's super hot, super humid. I'm like dying of heat. Okay, I've got this backpack full of like, I've got my headphones, I've got big water bottles, you know, and so I'm like, basically, like, all of a sudden we're going on a hike, and I have no idea, like, I didn't know it was like 4 miles long at the time. I went and looked it up afterward, but there was like so many different like areas where you're looking through the forest and you overlook the entire city of Seoul, Korea. And then there's like certain areas where there's like so many different shades of green in the forest, you know, like I'd never seen that many different shades of green. It was beautiful. And then when you get to the very top, like, you're rewarded with this view where you just overlook the entire city of Seoul. And then there's like a ledge where you can walk out, and basically all these people buy like these little like keychains or whatever, but it's like a heart, and they put their initials, and this like whole deck is just decorated, like all this fencing is decorated with like all these people who made that hike together. Like, it was probably like one of the most romantic spots that like you'll ever see in your entire lifetime. And then you can go inside, and then there's like a Starbucks, they have a restaurant, and then you know, basically the balcony of the Starbucks there overlooks the entire city. So it's an amazing view. Like, it was beautiful to be able to do that. So I was really glad that that we were able to do that as a family. And it was like, it's one of those moments where you feel like you accomplished something, you know, because you went from the bottom and you could see like how far away the tower or the hotel was, which is across the street from the park where we first started. And you know, just like a huge accomplishment, I guess. And I don't think that I would have like necessarily chosen to do that myself, and I'm so glad that we went through the path that we did to be able to see all the monuments and all the statues on the way up. Is beautiful. But the reason why like I brought that whole thing up, you know, it goes back to, you know, like this right here, and then the whole like being creative and stuff like that. You know, you guys are gonna see me basically go into this flow of basically where we're gonna go hard. You know, we're gonna be reaching out. We're gonna be out there, you know, we're gonna be doing a lot more stuff here, you know, and it's part of it's motivation, you know, to do better. Part of it's also you know, kind of some self-reflection I got to do, you know. And I think that when you do like a major accomplishment, or if you have time away from maybe your day-to-day stuff, you know, you really get your eyes opened up and, you know, can get to do all that stuff. Yay, Justin, you're back. Welcome back. I've missed you. You're so amazing. Thank you for being kind, so caring, so very much. Love and respect for you. Thank you so much, Loretta. It's glad to be back. Appreciate you. Dassler Dave, what's up, my man? How you doing, dude? Yes, officially back on Twitch. Thank you guys for bearing with me through all the issues of streaming over in Korea. We got like one really good solid day of streaming. I guess 2 technically. So it was really good. It was quite an adventure, man. Like, I loved certain parts of the trip, but overall, I'm so glad to be back home. You know, and it was like, I guess that clarity or that appreciation always comes back, you know, when you're away, and was much needed, I think, for me on that. Thank you for sharing it all with us. No worries, no worries. I've got plenty of pictures here. Most of it, like most of the stuff that I uploaded was mostly food. But if I look back on the trip, you know, like I got to see so many parts of Korea, you know. So we got to see. Would you stay there if given the opportunity? I would stay in certain parts of Seoul for sure. I would definitely not go to the countryside at all. But yeah, in Seoul, I would definitely stay, but not the countryside of Korea. So, I would say the two greatest moments for me was the climb to Seoul Tower. Like I said, it ended up being like a 5.5 to 6 mile hike and walk. Being able to go, and then all of a sudden. So it's a town called Incheon, and it's not quite 100% gone, but it has dwindled quite a bit. So, but yeah, so we went to this city, and you know, we heard that there was like this really huge casino. So I was like, all right, let's check it out. Well, we go there. It's called Paradise City. The freaking hotel / casino is also a convention center, so it's huge. It's like a mini city in itself. And sure enough, I get there, and what are they doing? They're hosting the Overwatch World Championships. And I was like, what? So, you know, I was like getting pictures, and my wife, like, she talked to one of the players. He's like, oh yeah, we're getting ready to start. And she's like, oh, are you a player? He's like, yeah. So I was like trying to find him so I could like see who it was and get a picture with him. Fortunately, that didn't work out. But we walked around to the convention center, and there was like, it was really early in the day. I think it was like 4 o'clock, and the event wasn't supposed to start till like 8 o'clock. But so many people were lined up, and then Logitech had this outdoor event, and Team Logitech was out there. One of the players was out there playing, and basically they set you up. And if you guys know anything about Overwatch, basically they had a setup for 6 people, and you basically just do a 1v everyone, and basically a highest score at the end of the 2-minute round or whatever stays, and everyone keeps going. Well, this girl, I don't know if she's an alternate for their team or if she's a streamer, but her name is Glitch. She must have been on there for 30 matches or so, I think, just killing everybody. And you only got to play as one person. Everybody played the same character, which was a Widowmaker. So, but I stumbled across that, and then like, just for being able to enter in and play, you know, with Logitech and stuff like that, they gave me like this poster. You also got to pick out which one of the characters you want, and then you can like build like the characters or build the player, and then I got like a full-size poster. But it was awesome. Like I don't know anybody else that can really cross off playing with a professional gaming team in and out of country as part of their experience. It was amazing. So that was probably the highlight of the trip for me. It's so interesting, you know, the culture over there. Like, I've never lived in a city where I had to be on the subway or the bus station. Like, city bus here is pretty garbage. You know, basically, like, you have to walk, and then you basically just have to catch the parallel cities here or streets, and they just kind of go back and forth. But there it's like taxis are so cheap. Like, to go from the airport to the hotel, I think costs like $8. You know, so everything there is relatively like, and that was like a 45-minute drive. So, how was the trip, buddy? Dude, it was good. I'm glad to be back. Very thankful for what we have here. You know, overall, like, this is still home, you know what I mean? And I will still say this, you know, I'm still proud to be an American. I'm glad I got to see some of my roots, you know, for my family, you know, for where my mom came from, and, you know, my wife and her parents and all that stuff. But I'm 100% American, 100% proud of that. Still the greatest country in the world, and I will always stand by that. So, very glad to be home. Aren't you glad I taught you how to play? Dude, I'm so glad, dude. It was awesome. I actually went 1-1 in that match with two assists. I think somebody else got the kills on that. So I did not. I didn't do too bad, considering, you know, that I couldn't read anything on the screen. I couldn't make any adjustments to my sensitivity settings. But, you know, for playing on a whim, going 1-1 wasn't too bad, dude. I was pretty happy about that. So I could have done much worse. Let's see. Trying to think what else. Yeah, I was really happy about that. I actually so what was crazy is that we finally got to the casino, and it's like inside the hotel, but we my wife and I could go in there. Hey Beaver, how's it going, Beaver? That's funny. You guys are hilarious. What I was gonna say is that so it's completely illegal to gamble in Korea. So my in-laws, they came to the States here about 30 years ago. They never actually got their citizenship, and so they could not enter in the casino because they're technically Korean residents. And my mother-in-law was so upset about the whole thing, you know. So my wife and I, we could go in there because we're American residents, but they couldn't. And so that was kind of like the last straw, I think, for my in-laws on the trip. You know, they were just kind of like disgruntled because they've been living here for so long now, and they didn't realize maybe how good we have it here after visiting back home. So they went back, and my father was like, yeah, he's like, as soon as I get back, I'm getting my citizenship. You know, so I just thought it was like very interesting. You know, the entire trip was of little like nuances like that. So that song has been stuck in my head for weeks. What song? Oh, nice. Gingivitis is now part of the Relic Army. That's awesome. About time, dude. I got new poetry for you guys, too. Dude, we all hope for that. I'm hoping for that, too. Yeah, dude. Relic Army is awesome. There's so many incredible people over there. And Relic himself is awesome, obviously. But, yeah. In Japan, it's illegal to gamble, so to circumvent, if they have one building for gambling and a separate building to turn in tokens, you win for real money. Oh, interesting. Justin here, though, is the best. He's so caring, he's the best. I'm honored to have got to know you, Justin. Love you. Thank you, Loretta. I feel the same about you and like the community that that we're building over here. You know, there's so many amazing streamers on Twitch, and you know, I've gotten like being a part of the creative community. You know, I've gotten a chance to really meet so many amazing people and get to know them. You know, God, that list could go on forever. You know, if I talk about the one specifically, you know, but what I like specifically about the creative community as opposed to maybe like the gaming community is that we all share kind of that want or need to showcase our art and our artistic abilities, but at the same time we're also willing to listen to that, you know. And it's hard sometimes for some people who are in the gaming community to maybe want to find that need to do that. I'm gonna go steady outside for a bit. Love you, Justin. Hope you have a great stream. I just need to get headed for. Hey, no worries, man. Thank you so much for stopping by as always. It's good to hear from you as well, dude. Let's get up for you. Everyone share this like never before. That's amazing. Thank you, Loretta. Yeah, so I think if you guys are wanting to really kind of showcase, you know, some of that stuff, I think the best thing is really just kind of you know, posting up to your social media sites, I think. You know, so if you're on Twitter, or Instagram, or Facebook, you know, you guys can share my stuff, you know. But I'm really excited about the direction where we're going to be going here with, we're going to be start hand binding these poetry manuscripts. So that means that I'm going to be printing out, like, the only thing I can't do is I can't write because my handwriting is awful. So I'm going to be basically writing out the poems. Each poem is going to, I spent time on about 2 this week, and ended up taking about 45 minutes per poem to get it really the way that I want it with the format. And some of them will have maybe some images, you know, attached with it. I'm kind of seeking either artists or stock photos that I can acquire to go with some of these poems and stuff like that. So you're going to see me hand bind these. We have JC Real, who has, well, so it's supposed to be for 6-month subs. JC Real actually got one in a giveaway, and I think somebody else might have. I'll have to double check. So that's something that we're gonna start doing with the giveaways there. And then every single manuscript that I hand bind also gets a unique poem that is only found in that one manuscript. So it's never going to be basically re-released somewhere else. It's not going to be something that I'll post online. It's not going to be something that, you know, I can get a copy of for you. I'm basically I'm writing it that one time, I'm printing it out, and I'm deleting it, and it goes into that manuscript. So every single poetry manuscript is unique. So it's basically, everything is basically pouring out my heart and blood, sweat, and tears into it, and my creativity. And that's something that particular manuscript, it makes everything a unique one, so that way you never have a duplicate. It's my way of being able to kind of give back to, you know, people who have supported me, people who want to support things like that. So we're going to do some giveaways for those poetry manuscripts. I think people will be a little bit more excited when they actually see me working on the process rather than me talking about it. But I'm super excited. You know, I have some ideas for some of them, maybe having like a leather case. Some of them, you know, like some of the paperwork, I'm going to kind of make it old school style. So I'm going to kind of dip the paper in coffee, so it has kind of like that, kind of that shape and that feel and kind of that color of like old poetry, you know. And some of them will have kind of like a rustic feel. Some of them will have like leaves, you know, that I'll be like finding and drying out, and then putting those on the covers, kind of like a Lord of the Rings type feel. So it'll be all kinds of different stuff, you know. If there's anybody that's really into nature, I'm gonna try and see if I can find twigs that and roots that I have kind of the so the edging or the binding of it will actually be out of like real wood. So it's basically kind of like just you being with words and nature, stuff like that. So a lot of different ideas. So we could even customize that too. So I'm still here. Little beef. Burn the edges of one. It looks really cool. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly kind of the idea and the feel that we were going for. The other thing too that I've never done but I've always wanted to do was get into, or at least attempt to make, a short film. And like, I don't have all of the technical side behind it. I definitely don't have the funds and resources to be able to do that, but I figure that even if I put something together, you know, and I'm streaming the process so you guys see what that entire structure looks like, you'll be able to come with me on this journey to see these short videos or this clips that I'll be making for like YouTube. So you guys will actually be able to see the entire process and the growth of what it would be like to work with Poetic Justin on set. You know what I mean? If I were to direct a movie or something like that, you know. So we're gonna be getting out into the world a little bit more. You guys are actually gonna see me doing a lot more mobile streaming now. So you know, I actually lost quite a bit of weight while I was in Korea because we did so much walking and because it was so hot and things like that. And it's kind of got me an opportunity to kind of take a look. Oh my goodness, 5 months in a row, really? Are you kidding me, Chris? Oh my gosh, dude, one more month and you get one more month and you're gonna have a manuscript. That's awesome, dude. I can't believe it's been 5 months, dude. It went by so quick. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it. And I don't appreciate that none of my notifications are popping up here, though. I really don't. But yeah, so I'm gonna start basically. I'm gonna start going. Like, we have so many mountains to climb here. In Colorado, a lot of great hiking spots. So I'm gonna basically I'm gonna start taking my poetry on the road. I'm gonna start going some hiking. I'm gonna take you guys with me on the stream, and we're gonna start basically getting in touch here, you know, with kind of nature. We're gonna lose some weight along the way. We're gonna start feeling good. You know, it's a whole different experience than rather just being stuck here, like with this wind blowing on my green screen. I think it's just gonna be really cool for us to go out there, just reflect on what's out there, what's there, you know, get the good vibes out in the real world. You know, and I think that was also like a really cool moment too. When I was at the airport in San Francisco when I was streaming, I actually got a chance to shake hands with people that actually followed the stream right then and there. Like, you know, I would love to be able to sit down and talk to art, or talk about art with Rin Lee, or sit there and talk with like Loretta and Genocidal about this fetish that they have with beavers. You know, or be able to go and hang out with like Dastardly Dave and grab a beer or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, that was so amazing to be able to that I could sit there and just sit there and get to know people, like, and that they wanted to go and that they went and followed the stream, and that I could do that. So I think that if we're out there on these hikes, out there doing stuff, you know, I think that it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a whole different experience, good feels, but then, you know, you'll be able to see kind of you know, what my city looks like, you know. I think it'll be really cool to be able to do that, and who knows, you know, maybe we'll meet some other streamers along the way. I think it'll be really good though, you know. And then along the way, and you guys will be able to also see a night on the town. Sounds awesome. Yeah, it'd be like we'd have like a date night, you know what I mean? It'd be like me and you guys. Hopefully somebody wants to take me to dinner. It'd be amazing. I like steak. I like spaghetti. Really easy. If you want to go to McDonald's, I'm fine with that too. But yeah, I mean, take me out to eat, guys. That'd be amazing. And in return, I will put out poetry. Oh man, Beaver Squad is awesome. Beaver Squad is awesome. I need to get you guys like your own sound command. Let's go. You guys want some poetry? I'll put out. All right. Oh man, somebody should clip that. That was amazing. That was pretty hilarious, I must say. I sometimes make myself laugh. You guys want some poetry? You guys want some new poetry, I should say? I will tell you though, the worst thing about Korea, I don't know what it is, but like with it being so hot, and with like consistently having that freaking output of all that sweat and stuff like that, it literally, I think it like awakened my my sweat glands, because like even back home I'm still sweating like crazy everywhere. So a little TMI for you guys. But yeah, that swamp ass in Korea is crazy. You guys do not want that. Of course, I want you to put out some poetry. Mobile can't clip well on my phone, but I'll go back on the archives. All right, so just so you know, we're about an hour in, so probably around like 57-minute mark. I'd appreciate it. All right. So, a couple of these poems that I wrote here, this one was actually on the bus. We now have a beaver room. You must join us. What? I better get an invite to that ASAP. That's funny. I was actually thinking of making one for you guys, but I figured that one of you would actually take care of it. Surely enough, it's done. So this poem that I wrote here was actually on our way to Seoul. So we'd gone through all the countryside. And I don't know what it was. Like, it was just, I think, kind of, you know, part of it was being exhausted. Part of it was just kind of being in a different country, and I thought about, like, myself in reflection, all the negativity that I've acquired, and I saw this meme on, I think it was Facebook, and it basically says, like, no matter how good of a person you are, in somebody's story, you're a villain. I think it said, in somebody's story, you're the bad guy. And man, that just, like, really hit me hard, so I don't know if you guys got a chance to maybe, or if you're familiar with the song that I played here right before we started, but it's called One More Light by Linkin Park. And, yeah, I don't know, I was like, for a big portion of the trip, I was in my feels, and I felt so bad for Chester from Linkin Park. He committed suicide about a year and a half ago, and I guess I didn't realize how much of a fan I was of his stuff until I got a chance to really listen to his heart, and it's just one of those things where I was like, man, there's so much, this is gonna be such a long trip, I'm gonna listen to a bunch of stuff that I haven't heard, because I'm really familiar with their older work. Never really got a chance to listen to their newer stuff. And that song really just kind of like has been playing for me nonstop, and it's really got me kind of like thinking, So this is where this poem comes from, and it's called He. Judged by the stars and millions of people, he prayed for the universe and the entire city. They wanted him dead. He thought they were pretty. He judged them too, but out of pity. While they rose and slept, they aligned. In unity, they were of sound in mind. They identified themselves with the sun. The sun never spoke or sang, it just spun. He pondered, he wondered, he questioned why they judged him so. Was it how he spoke? The way he wrote? His ability to remember the scholarly and quote and recite the very lines that changed his mind from one of them into one of a kind? He could not undo what he had become, what he had already done. He could not uncast the hexes from his past. He could no longer wear his two-faced mask. Before the judgment, before the labels, he, before becoming the villain, was just a man. Before the judgment, before the labels, they were just asking to be saved, yet they spend their time judging he instead. He, by definition, is we, they, by definition, is us, he versus they, we versus us, the same universal stardust. It's no wonder why we're lacklustering, wandering for wanderlust. You guys ever, like, have to do, like, a reset, so to speak? Thank you, Bearded Console. Appreciate that, man. I don't know, man. Like, sometimes I'm the master of hitting the reset button, I think. I don't know if that's, like, coming back from, like, the Nintendo days, or I don't know. I just feel like every once in a while I just need to kind of like restart, And you know, I went back to my roots as a poet, right? What were some of the things that really inspired me? And I had to flip the script a little bit. You know, for me, as a writer, when I first started writing, a lot of it came from negative thoughts. You know, it came from a process when I was going through some really tough times. And I still struggle with that, you know, even before I had going off on this trip, you know, I've been going through some stuff that's been keeping me down, and you know, so I like to play with buttons and papers. Facts. That's true. I can't even deny that. But like, you know, I think that when I put myself out there, you know, because I try to focus on this positivity and trying to be the beacon, you know, I realize that a lot of it is deflection. You know, a lot of it's basically because I don't necessarily have the comfort level of being able to put myself or the stuff that I'm going through out there, or to speak with people. So when I tell you guys that I'm struggling, that I need this positive mental attitude and this positivity as much as, you know, you guys, it's true. You know, I definitely go through tough times, and I struggle. I gotta sign off for now. Watch this stank from work. If I have time dropping by, I apologize. I have to come in and run. Yeah. Oh, wash, not watch. Oh, no worries, man. You're good. Thank you so much for stopping by, dude. Appreciate you as always. And thank you so much for the resub, bro. It means a lot. Hopefully work goes by quickly for you, dude. So, yeah, I mean, you know, I've definitely been going through some tough times myself, guys, and you know, so for me, I think this trip was a reset, right? Kind of some self-reflection, being able to kind of deep dive. You know, music has always been something that I've been passionate about, and man, like, I have this thing, like, I don't know, is anybody else here like a people watcher? It's something that I do all the time. You know, we'll go out to dinner, and my wife, like, you know, she thinks I'm being nosy. Mostly it's me just kind of people watching. Like, I prefer to look at the entrance, so that way I can see, you know, people and things like that. You know, so I really struggle, like, when I see people who inspire me, you know, to know that they're going through really difficult times, you know, and like, because of the time difference, I had this huge amount of like time, because it was only like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon here, but it was like 4 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning over in Korea, you know, so I wasn't really sleeping. So I spent a lot of time basically just like deep diving into like song lyrics and music and songs that I like, and, you know, and then, you know, but I had like my heart break for Chester Bennington, you know, because if you look at his interviews and stuff like that, man, like, he had this one interview where he basically talked about how he gets in his own head, and that's like the worst place for him to be, you know, and that if he wasn't helping other people, then he wasn't happy, you know, and he couldn't reach out to as many people as he wanted to, you know, because fame kept him from some of that, you know, that crossing those boundaries without, you know, it was just weird, these weird things. And then like this song, you know, One More Light, and I'm watching this live version of it, you know, of him singing this, and he's in the crowd, right, before the song even starts, and like, he's not just like touching people's hands, you know what I mean? He's like literally holding on to them, you know. And then like at one point when he starts singing the chorus, you know, like I do, you know, like he's leaning over like the entire crowd. He's like, it looks like he's about to fall in, and you could just like, people are like touching his face, and he's like touching their face, and he's like crying over them. Like, it broke my heart to know that somebody like him, that even in the starlight, he just wants to help other people, and then he ended up basically hurting himself. And the reason I bring this up, guys, is because I see myself in that light sometimes, you know, and I have this tendency where I'll go out and I'll pour everything out into everyone else, but then I leave myself behind, and then all of a sudden I start questioning, am I doing something wrong? Am I not doing the right thing? Am I not who I'm supposed to be? And it sucks, you know, to be honest, like when you go through that, because you feel like that you're a beacon for everyone but yourself. You know, it's like that lighthouse that shines that light for everyone out there, but you can't look at that your own light. You know, you can't see yourself from that because you don't see it from that other person's perspective. You know what I mean? What's up, Real Mandingo? How you been? It's been a while. LAD Canopoli, Yinka, how you doing? Thank you guys for stopping by. Hope you're having a good day. Indeed. It's just real, man. I think when you go through stuff, you know, you relate to so many different things, you know, and everyone kind of goes through different stuff, you know what I mean? So for me, I've suffered through depression, you know, and it's hard to really appreciate light when you're in darkness, right? It's hard to enjoy other people being happy when you're not happy. And sometimes you just fake all that stuff, you know. Do you know Gareth Bale? I'm not familiar with Gareth Bale. Feel free to enlighten me. And Loretta, thank you so much for that, you know. I know that you're definitely a willing and open ear without judgment, and I appreciate that. And again, it's more just me than anything. But you know, it's just one of those things that when you go through that, you know what I mean? And so I do want to put this out there, guys. You know, if you're going through some really tough stuff, okay, because it's not easy to talk about what you're going through. It's not easy to, you know, to put yourself out there, you know. So if you are in the struggle, you know, and you know, I hope that nobody goes through this, man, because it's been through the toughest stuff I've ever gone through is going through that suicide stuff. But you know, if you need to talk and you want to do it anonymously, you can call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, okay? And that number is 1-800-273-8255. And again, I don't work for them. But I do want people to know that, you know, it is it's a prevention center, you know what I mean? And it's not just like you're going through depression and stuff, you know. I mean, they've had people on there who have gone through all kinds of stuff, you know, life crises, you know. People are going through maybe you know, maybe you're going through the transgender thing, or maybe you're coming out of the closet, you know, and it's some of the toughest times that you're going through. They have people who've gone through that, you know what I mean? So just know, again, this is a safe haven. You know, we welcome anybody and everybody. You know, open arms community. How about Filthy Frank? I have no idea what you're talking about, LAD. But it's just kind of one of those things, guys. I want to put that out there, and I want that to be a staple here, that, you know, if you are going through some tough stuff, if you know anybody going through that, then you can come out here. You can enjoy, you know, judgment-free zone here. And it's just important for me and for people to know that I care. But if I pull back sometimes, if I'm quiet, if I'm not saying maybe a whole lot, or if I'm not being as inspirational, just know that I'm going through some stuff too, and I'm not afraid to let you guys know that. But at the same time, I do reserve that, you know what I mean, because I do have to take care of my family, right? And so I can't let some of those things maybe hinder that, you know, because that's of first and foremost importance there. So, but again, I hope that that ability of me being real lets you guys know that, you know, that you're not alone when you go through it. So you need people here for you also, and I know you will stop your stream in a heartbeat, talk to anyone who needs it, but at the same time, let us help you. Let us be there for you. Fair enough, Loretta. Fair enough. All right. So if anybody has gone through anything, this is a newer poem here, and I think this is one of these things when you know, you're just sleep deprived, maybe not your best effort, and you think it makes sense when you're going through it, but you go back through it and it doesn't. But that's what this next poem is. I mean, I understand where I was going with it. I just feel like I didn't hit the mark. And I know I'm breaking rules here because I always say don't talk about how you feel about your own work. But I think that as a writer especially, probably artists too, you go through different stages of your art. You know, I oftentimes mostly hate everything that I write because it's never good enough. And then you learn to appreciate some of it, and eventually maybe learn to love it after you've hated it first. But I'm in this hate stage for this for sure. And again, this may be one of those ones that kind of gets scrapped, but I'm going to put it out there just because I think that it may be beneficial for somebody at some point. This one is actually titled A Damn Ninja in the Tree. I sense his ability. Damn ninja in the tree, obediently, patiently waiting. Slow breaths. Slow heart rate. Bum bum. Bum bum. A leaf fell. His mistake. I only see a glimpse. Damn ninja in the tree, moving, dropping leaves. Dewdrops dripping, be like water, adapt, said Bruce Lee. Keen and alert. One mistake or I'll be miserable. One strike to the left, another leaf fell left. Eyes up, crouching down, blindly searching for the damn ninja in the tree, making me search for him foolishly. I'm going to make you pay, you arrogant, selfish, sneaky, backstabbing another leaf. Concentrate. Do not invoke emotions, anticipation. Slow breaths, slow heart rate. Bum bum, bum bum. Anticipation. No, another leaf. Why am I feeling anxious? He's getting faster. He's making me spin. This damn ninja in the tree. Anxiety got the best of me. Ninja was nowhere to be. Damn you, ninja in the tree. Damn ninja is the shadow of me, the silent mind, the damn ninja, the depression tree, put into context so that way I can talk about it openly. Because without it, the silence moves in shadows. The anxiety of hearing leaves rustle, the anticipation that I might stab at something, that it might be me. I sense his ability. He's hurting. Damn ninja in the tree, depression is killing me. Obediently, patiently waiting, I wonder if people will miss me. Slow breaths. Slow heart rate, forgive me. A leaf fell, his mistake, forever silent. Damn ninja in the tree. Thank you guys for allowing me to showcase some of the new writing. And I feel like that a lot of the writing is just more purposeful now, you know. I go back to a lot of the stuff that I used to write back in the day, and I try to see if there's something there, maybe a reason I wrote it, something to come back to. And sometimes, like, I can't find it, you know. And sometimes I was like, wow, it's crazy that I wrote that years ago, and now it's like speaking to me, or, you know, it fits somebody perfectly now. So, wow, Justin, applause. Thank you, Loretta. Thank you. Yeah, so I feel like it's so weird that when you go away, you know, it's almost, you feel like I come back on the stream and I feel really good about being here on the stream today. But at the same time, it feels like so foreign. You know, it's only been a couple weeks, you know, and it hasn't even been like anything major differently. I've just been streaming from my phone instead. But I think just this awakenness, you know, and all the stuff that I've been going through, like, really has me kind of excited, scared. You were missed. Just saying thank you. You have all of us here for you as well, as you are here for us. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I really appreciate that, honestly. You know, it's just I guess when you go through stuff, you know what I mean? Like, you have this awakeness, you have this appreciation. You know, when you go through these elements, you know, and I guess I would say when you go through the fire, right? You know, life can be trying sometimes. When you go through some of that, it really breaks down all of that. You know, it breaks down how you should feel, and it allows you to reset and regain where you want to go. You guys are awesome.
You gonna learn today.
That's how I feel. You know, that Kevin Hart is that's what you're gonna learn today. So, I will tell you guys, you know, my wife has been really.
Skadoosh.
Uh-oh. Poe Studios. Oh my gosh, dude, how are you, Poe? I miss this guy. Poe, so I've been kind of gone for a couple of weeks, you know, mostly out of the country and back, and I still haven't really got back into the things of Twitch and stuff. So, are you back to streaming? You can learn, Justin. Dude, I'm glad to hear that you were doing well, dude. We missed you, Poe. I've been stalking on Insta. Yeah, no, I appreciate it, dude. I've seen you liking some of the photos every now and then. So, dude, we just miss you as a person. We miss your artwork. So I can't wait till you get back. And yeah, I think I told you this before, but my oldest son lives in Detroit, Michigan. So at some point in time, maybe I'll have to make it out there, and then maybe we can do some co-streams or something. I don't know. A lot of work and things are getting back to normal. I feel you, dude. Sometimes just getting back to normal is like a godsend. So stalked you on Instagram. Yeah, I appreciate all the stalks on Instagram, guys. I really do. You know, I just started Instagram probably like a month ago. You know, so it's been a while, and just kind of getting back into, you know, the habit of things. So yeah, like the reason why we didn't do the open mic today is, one, I wanted to kind of catch up with you guys. Wanted to kind of give some updates as to the stuff that we're going to be doing with the stream. Hopefully you guys are just as excited as I am about the upcoming stuff here. And I want to do a lot more collaborations, guys. You know, and so if you guys have artists or other streamers, or you know people that are, you know, are doing stuff, then send them here. You know, if you know people that want to collaborate on stuff, send them here. You know, so you guys remember Sola Sky Art? She did a picture, and my original thing was I was gonna write a poem for it, and then I wrote one and I deleted it, and then so I'm gonna be revisiting that. So what the projects I'm currently have going on this week. So for that one, I actually rewrote a poem. I'm recording that poem, and I'm gonna put it to some music, and I'll put a video of it, and I'll send it to Sola so that way she can check it out. For a couple of songs, if you guys remember that Relic Army poem that I did a couple weeks ago, I guess about almost a month ago, I'm gonna be basically kind of taking that same concept for songs that I like, and basically rewriting my own lyrics, you know, for different stuff like that, and then basically kind of just doing an overlap. And again, you know, Obviously, I don't own the rights to any of the music, but I think it'll be different ways for me to go ahead and do, kind of get creative, put myself out there, put my work out there, and there's a lot of just different things that I want to do creatively, so, but more importantly, I want that collaboration. So again, we're going to be doing, we've got podcasts coming, we've got the manual binding of poetry manuscripts, collaborations with other music artists. If you guys have been here for the open mics, then you guys know people like Christian, Miniatures, Snoobies, Joshime, all amazing artists, Ichi McBabe. So I've reached out to all of them, and I basically said, hey, let's take your voice, let's take your singing, your guitar skills, your ukulele, and let's record something, and then I'm going to put a poem on top of that, either in front or behind it. And so we're gonna be working on some stuff. I also have some people locally here. Hey, what's up, Jen with 2 N's? How you doing? Thank you so much for the follow the other day, and I'm glad to see you stopping by the stream. Thank you so much. So yeah, we have a couple local artists, guys. So my cousin is gonna come back to writing and going back to music, specifically hip hop. He's an amazing freestyler, but just really deep rooted poet. And then another guy named Ara, amazing talented guy. He can sing, he can rap, he can do it all. So the three of us as a trio, as well as kind of dually, we're gonna be working on some projects on the side. So it'll be interesting, because I'm not a poet, I'm not a rapper by nature, but I am a poet. And we'll see if we can kind of integrate the two. Another guy I went to high school with, I think his band is called Grin Tattoo. He's a metal guy, but we've also talked about being able to see what he can do. So he's gonna send me some of his music, and then I'll record some stuff over there and see what he thinks, and maybe put it together. So we're gonna be really busy with these collaborations, but again, this is my contribution to art, supporting the arts, and hopefully the poetry will be well enough to keep intact with some of these things, with the other artists, either, their digital art or their drawings or music or whatever. So hopefully you guys are just as excited about that as I am. I guess Beaver Squad, you guys just let me know if you guys have a specific audio clip that you'd like me to go ahead and put in there, and I'll make that sound clip for you guys. Guess I have to come back and kick your butts in gear. What did he ask? Has Rinley done another poem? She has not, but she has been doing commissions. She's been drawing. She's actually working on my sub badges right now. So she's been busy for sure. Maybe not as busy as Poe would like her to be, but Poe's a slave driver anyway. Yeah, Poe, one of the things that we talked about is doing like an art battle. So I need to flesh out all the details, the rules. Find an MC, I think, for that event. But I think it would be cool. I think we can do pairs of 2s, maybe 3, teams of 3. So we'll have basically singers, wordsmiths, and artists, either by I cracked the whip. Yeah, and then we'll basically do kind of like an art battle. So we'll take we'll let chat decide certain words or whatever, and then basically wordsmiths, drawers or artists, and musicians will all have to come up with something based off of that particular word or phrase, and then it'll be a competition. Yeah, competitive open mic. Yeah, exactly. But we'll have teams of 3. So somebody like Stormy Nature, would be like a really great wordsmith to have, and then maybe he's paired up with Ventress and Rinley, you know what I mean? And then it'll be like me, you, and maybe Twisted Little Puppet as a singer, something like that. So we just have all kinds of different types of events or something like that to really just kind of get all kinds of different art all at the same time, you know what I mean? So, hey, what's up, T. Gomez? How you doing? Welcome back. thank you so much, and welcome back to the stream. It's good to see you again. I'm an alright drawer, dude. You're amazing. I just shut up. You were killing me with all those pics of food and noodles and such. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad because I tried to stream a couple of times and it went south. I had one day where I was able to really stream, but my battery died in like 3 hours. So yeah, but dude, yeah, the food was really amazing there. I will say though, I was actually most of the places where the food was, I was kind of disappointed in the fact that my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law both actually make food better than they do there, and I should say more flavorful. In all of Korea, there was only one restaurant too that I went to that actually had soy sauce, and none of them had salt or pepper. And their reason for saying it was saying that they didn't need it, which, okay, fine. Like, your restaurant, you can have. I appreciate the confidence and stuff like that, but I'm American, and I disagreed with certain aspects where they could use some of that. But you know, it's fine. It's been since that one day in Korea forever, and I'm good. Just got back from amazing performance of Mexican dances. Nice. Was that in Denver? That's awesome. We went to. We were at the I'm gonna think which airport. I think we were in the San Francisco airport on our last layover, and they had like a whole set of Native American dances as well as the Heritage of Mexico dances together, and some of them were the same dancers and stuff like that. But that was cool because we got to see that whole thing. I got to see a protest in Korea for one of the local colleges. Vastly different from the protests here. They actually put on like a performance. Oh, Denver Performing Arts Complex. Nice. Very cool. Yeah, I have to go to Denver Museum soon to renew my membership. So actually, that would be a pretty cool stream because I don't think a lot of people have seen the Denver Art Museum, especially the Space Center portion. My son loves that, so that's the whole reason why we have our membership, is for that. So yeah, guys, I got some new. Well, I was working on some new sets today here. This is kind of one of the new ones for poetry. Denver Zoo is great. Yeah, I like the Denver Zoo, but you know, obviously we have the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo here, and although it's like a little bit of a bigger walk or whatnot, I like the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo a little bit better than the Denver Zoo. But yeah, no, I think both would be really great. We frequently go to the Broadmoor Hotel. You know, and we, like, especially like in the wintertime, you know, like now is great because the lake is open, so you can kind of walk around the lake, get great pictures. But we like to go in the wintertime, especially because with the fire pits that are out there, you can actually go and order some s'mores and then hang out around the fire pit and eating s'mores. So if that's something you haven't done, then I highly recommend it. In fact, if you decide you want to do that, then let me know and I'll meet you there and we'll stream. Far out. Are you talking about this scene here, Poe? Man, can I tell you guys how amazing it is to just sleep on a bed? Thanks, man. Yeah, I just put this together today. I thought it looked pretty awesome. I've never been to Cheyenne Zoo. Did hear they lost some animals. Oh, I didn't hear that. I didn't know that. It sucks. What have I missed recently? Not a whole lot, man. Like, we just did, we talked, you know, about some key moments in Korea. Just kind of new plans for upcoming here in the stream. So I'm going to be doing more IRL streams out in the world. You know, I'm going to be doing some hiking and doing stuff as a family. Also be doing hand binding those poetry manuscripts. I'm also going to be releasing them online. So either on like iTunes and podcasts, we're gonna start doing those. So one of the podcasts is actually a 4-person podcast. So it's myself, Procession, Ember Devil, and my buddy Sean. Basically, Procession is agnostic. Sean and Ember Devil, I think, are both whatever the other one is, that they don't believe in anything. And then I myself actually I identify as a Christian. So we're gonna have 4 different basically takes in regards to talking about just debatable ideas or things that are out there, you know. So one of them is that my buddy Sean is, I think that he takes a stance that he is leaning toward that the earth is flat, and Ember Devil is basically completely against it. So, you know, it's going to be ideas and things like that. So we're working on kind of the stuff right now to put that podcast together. I don't think it'll be possible for us to maybe get everybody in visually, but that's one podcast that we're going to be doing. I'll also be doing either a podcast for either poetry or like an emailing list, so a distribution list, so that way I can send poetry out through the middle of the week, inspirational quotes, things like that, so that way you guys can get that. And then if there's any major updates, I can put that out there too. So that's really kind of new stuff. Well, I will say this, G. Gomez, you know, it's not so much for me, like, I could care less, right? Because it doesn't affect me one way or the other if it's flat, if it's round, right? Because I'm not trying to fall off, I'm not trying to leave, regardless. So, but what I do respect, the fact is that people question things, you know. I appreciate people who research and can bring evidence and question not just the things that they read and hear, but people who are maybe willing to question that even. And so it's an odd stance to take, especially for me identifying myself as a Christian, because most, well, I shouldn't say most, but I would say a lot of people in the stereotype is that you would see me pushing my religion on others and things like that. But again, I take a step back and I can appreciate where people are coming from. I can appreciate the research, and I appreciate somebody who's willing to, again, take that stand and maybe question things and think about that. So I think when you see the dynamic and the passion of the people who are talking in that similar type podcast, it'll become really interesting, because you're going to get 4 different perspectives, all within one, you know, within a short amount of time here. But the thing is that you're going to see it done in a pretty respectful manner, you know what I mean? It's not going to be, you know, BBC News boring, you know what I mean? You know, definitely Ember Devil is quite the character, Procession quite the character, you know, but it's going to be, it'll be respectful dialogue, but it'll be no, basically people aren't going to hold back what they're feeling, what they're talking about. So first time I've heard that people believe in flat world. This is news. I would like to know more of their research and all. It's interesting, definitely. You know, and again, you know, for something like that, again, my thoughts are that I don't care when it comes to maybe something different, you know, for example, you know, 9/11, you know what I mean? That's something maybe then that, you know, you might see a little bit more emphasis from me or from some of the other people and things like that. So the topics, again, will vary and change out and things like that. But dude, I love 7-Eleven. Dude, 7-Eleven in Korea is the funniest thing I've ever seen. They don't have Slurpees in Korea. Dude, I love Slurpees. I love the banana flavored Slurpee. I don't know if you've ever had that. It's amazing. Yeah, Slurpees don't exist in Korea. They have slushies, but not within 7-Eleven. But their refrigerated coffee section has like 20 different flavors or 20 different types. It's not just Starbucks. And then their I've watched some meals of YouTube of Asian 7. Oh, okay, yeah, it's crazy. I've never seen so many people actually go inside a convenience store and eat there. Like we were at this Airbnb with one of our last stops there, and there's a convenience store like downstairs from us. And so I remember like the second night we were coming back home, they went to these like group of girls. They basically all went and got their refrigerated meals, and it was like rice or soup or something like that, and they like heat them up, and then there's like a sitting section for them to all sit there and eat. We did find a McDonald's. My son was so happy. And you know what's crazy? So the very first McDonald's we went to, it's super nice. Like they don't reuse like the same oil, and everything is clean there. It's considered like a high-end restaurant. Their meat quality is a lot higher, and in Korea, I think it's because of the people and the size, but like their large is pretty much like a small for us, and like they don't do free refills on soda and everything, you know, so everything is very different, and it's not shameful, like stereotype here, you know, oh, you work at fast food, blah blah, people kind of look down on you. Over there, it's an international food chain, you know. It's McDonald's. It's not like it's like your Olive Garden, I guess, so to speak, you know what I mean? So you go there, and yeah, it was really crazy. It's pretty expensive, you know. It's like $11, I think, for a meal. And then the second McDonald's we went to, it was crazy. They have the front section, you can only order breakfast. And then you have to go to the very back section to go ahead and order the lunch. So they don't cross-contaminate breakfast and lunch. So they have two separate kitchens within one McDonald's. One side makes only breakfast, one side only makes lunch items, so that way they don't cross the same types of oils that they're using, or whatever, the same grease, or you know, whatever it is that they use. It was crazy. They have old style stops called Quality Dairy. What? That sounds... Grill temps are different, breakfast for lunch. Yeah, but here in America, they don't care. They just pull it out of the freezer, drop it on the grill, squeeze it out of a tube. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but where I live here, there's like a million come and goes. No, I think it just has to do with I have no idea what it is, honestly. I'd be lying if I try to make something up. I'm not gonna do that. I just thought it was so weird because I spent like $22 on the breakfast menu because I was like frustrated that they didn't have lunch, and it was like 11 o'clock. And then I went to go get some napkins and found out that the other place, or the backside of the thing, only serves lunch. They also have like a Korean barbecue kimchi burger. So you basically, it's kind of like the Korean barbecue beef, and then they put kimchi on there. It just tasted kind of like a barbecue burger. It wasn't earth-shattering. It wasn't terrible. My wife didn't like it. But yeah, that's right there on their menu. And then on our way out, there was also like a KFC and a Burger King inside the airport. But all their chicken, like KFC only does chicken sandwiches, and everything is basically, it's grilled, not deep fried. So all of like the burgers and things like that were grilled. So everything is very much like a much healthier option, I guess, so to speak. What's up, Stormy? Allergen reasons? It could be. I don't know for sure. The other thing that I found really interesting is that their number one selling soda is Coke, but the second one is called Chilsang Cider. It's basically like a Sprite, but it has just a little bit of an aftertaste that Sprite does not have, and apparently that makes a huge difference. He's choked up because I'm back. Yeah, this is true. It's true. I love the chicken from Chester's inside King Soopers. Now I'm hungry. I'm not kidding though. I live in a small town. There's no 7-Eleven around here unless it's a type of gas station or something. Yeah, 7-Eleven is a gas station, but they also have one of the things that they're known for is they have like these slushies called Slurpees, and they often have one flavor that's standard, which is a Coke, and then the second one is always a different flavor. I think most of them have like 4 standard now, so yeah, it's pretty much an icy. Yeah, so I know that 7-Eleven here went out of business for a long time, and then they came back like years later, and now they're all over the place again. Yeah, gas is super expensive because every vehicle in Korea uses diesel. What the hell? Captain Crunch? Never heard of it. Oh, you know, I think I might have saw it recently. That sounds horrible, dude. I'm not gonna lie. But I hate cereal. I hate cereal. And the reason why I hate cereal is because that's all I ate as a kid, because you know, like my father raised 3 of us by himself, so we were always tight budget and stuff like that, so that's all we ever had. Drank half of mine. Do you remember now that we're talking about weird flavors, do you guys remember the hot Pepsi? I think it was called Pepsi Hot. It was basically like a cinnamon flavored Pepsi. It was like the worst thing I ever had in my entire life. It was horrible. Oh, maybe it's called Pepsi Fire. Oh, you remember? Okay, yeah, Pepsi Fire. I had a salted caramel one recently. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, T-Gomez, we have like 80,000 come and goes. We never had any up until like 3 years ago, and now they're all over the place. In fact, I have one that's like right across the street. Well, I guess it's down the street, and then right across the street there's another one. 41 US cents a gallon for fuel over here. What? Are you kidding me? Oh my god, Stormy, that's crazy, dude. I'm paying like, I think $2.85 for the upgraded fuel. And then in Korea, it was like $5 a gallon. Stormy lives in Australia. I almost said New Zealand, but then I'm afraid that Stormy would have reached through the screen and punched me. You don't remember all these I guess it wasn't you who was here. I think it was Artez who was here with all the different spiders and things like that. Yeah, we had an entire stream. Like the first hour of the stream was nothing but things, different types of things that would kill you in Australia. Pandas are sensitive, for sure. So, oh man, feels good to be back, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my gosh, don't even go on the metric system. I don't even know all that. It took me forever just to learn, like, convert the Celsius into Fahrenheit while I was over in Korea. I just got that down, so. $5.87 per gallon. Oh wow, yeah, that's a lot. I divided, not multiply. Math is my weakness. No, you guys are hilarious. Oh man. So, yeah, I've decided that I hate heat officially. I thought I could deal with it, and coming back to Colorado, like even right now, it's still too damn hot for me. So. Oh my god, dude. Oh, okay, so first of all, I have so much more love for pizza than I did before. You want to hear what they were advertising on TV in Korea for pizza? It was a seafood pizza, dude. It was basically like marinara sauce, but it was freaking infused or mixed out of shrimp and oysters, I think, or octopus or something like that. It was horrible. It was horrible, dude. I could not do it. I could not. Ugh. So, needless to say, when we got back, I told my wife, I was like, yeah, I need a pizza. Jimmy John's, I actually had that yesterday, so I always get the same thing every time. It's a large Vito with extra spicy peppers and a pickle cut up in quarters. That's a chip. What's up, Ozark? How you doing? Yeah, guys, so everything that used to be in style from the 80s and 90s is what people in Korea are wearing now. Welcome back. Thank you. Thank you. It feels good to be back. So I saw several people dressed like Punky Brewster. Bell bottoms are very much in style. Overalls. Very, very retro. All the old men pop their collars. When I say old, I'm talking like in their late 30s, early 40s. So not like old, but basically like they would have been the guys who were in college when that was a trend. But all of them do that. You know, they all wear their polos and then pop up their collar. Looks horrible. Always has, in my opinion. Not to them. It's not hot for them. Man, when I was doing that 5.5 mile hike to Seoul Tower, there was like these old ladies, like in their 60s, who were just basically like walking and passing me. They weren't even sweating at all, and I'm sitting there like dying of thirst. So, it didn't bother them at all. What I do love about Korea though is like the whole net neutrality thing is a non-issue over there. Basically, there's 3 internet companies. They all work together. So SK Telecom, KT Wireless, and Ole Wireless. And basically, they've all banded together. So it's basically, if you want internet, you just have one of those 3 companies. They all provide the same bandwidth, regardless of whatever your cost is. And it's laced all throughout the country. So you get a single login, and you can take that login with you here, or you could go up to like visit your family on the other side of the country, and you can still have that same amount of bandwidth that you got when you're at home, and you can take your Wi-Fi basically with you, what they call an egg or pocket Wi-Fi, and it's basically it is a little tiny router that you basically place in your pocket. Lurk, gonna smash some Jimmy's, nice. Can't stand that BS. You can see the bandwidth dropping out. Yeah, it's horrible. But over there, like, everybody gets like a freaking 70 upload and 120 download speed on the internet. And it doesn't matter. You can go in the countryside. It smells like ass. And, you know, people are missing teeth, and it's like the hills have eyes. You can go there, walk in to any store, and still get the same Wi-Fi that you would get in the city. And I was like, man, this is amazing. So I really envy that aspect of Korea, that, you know, that they are willing to work together in regards to that. I thought that was really cool. The bathrooms are extremely clean. Even the ones like in the airport, you know, I was amazed. So they definitely have a leg up on us in regards to that. You know, they don't have people just randomly going taking a crap on their missing on purpose, it feels like, or not even trying. You'll never find a bathroom like that in all of Korea. But yeah. The technology usage, even in the countryside, like the doors, everything is basically either an automatic door. Like, they don't really have those, I think because of the heats, but instead of having like to pull the door, you just push a button and it opens. That's everywhere. Western culture fails at shaming ass wipes who can't wipe. It doesn't shame them enough. Did you go to any amusement parks or museums? So we did go to one museum, and it was just kind of like the history of Korea. It was weird because a lot of the shopping and a lot of the museums are not like here where you go from one end of the building to the other. You start here and it goes in a circle, and then you take the elevator up, and you go in a circle and take the elevator up. So a lot of the malls were set up that way. So if you go into a mall, you'd go in a circle, and then you take the escalator or the elevator up, and it might be like eight or nine stories, and then you move on. Or you're in the districts where you basically just go down like a little alley. Feels like if you were back home here in the America, like you would not go by yourself because you're afraid that you might get mugged. But those are everywhere, and you basically just walk down and there's marketplaces all over. So that's where you get like the street food, you get clothes, really anything that you want. There was a place in Seoul that we stayed where it was very, very popular to do the dress up like the old school. Let me just pull that up. But it's called a hanbok, which is like the traditional Korean clothing. And so Koreans, the culture now is that they would even they would still take photos in these things when they get married. And my wife and I never did. So it was important for her that we go ahead and get that picture done here. So we went ahead and got that done. Oh, I got to use a bidet for the first time. You guys ever do that? I'm seriously contemplating on maybe getting one now. Sorry, I'm just kind of going through pictures, make sure I didn't miss anything. We also did the Seoul Tower, and then the first night we were there, T. Gomez, we went to I want to say it's kind of like a garden or something like that. So this one was actually, it had cold water, but it had an instant heater on there, Ozark, and it was amazing. Like, it actually heated up really quickly, like a little bit too hot for my it was actually a little bit discomfort or so. Oh yeah, bidet, it's the toilet that basically squirts water into your butt, and then it can also dry it. Yeah, I like the bidet a lot. My wife was like, this is weird, and I was like, no way. I was like, it's like getting a fresh start every time. And then we also went to like this it was kind of like a botanical gardens, except it really wasn't. But it was really cool because it was kind of like lit up like Christmas, and all of the it's basically how I want Christmas to be every year now. So let me see if I can pull it up here and check it out. And then if you guys want, you guys can also check out all the adventures, definitely on Instagram. Oh, they had those in Italy too. My friend thought it was a mini sink for kids. Oh my gosh. No, you know what's funny? I don't remember, I can't remember what movie it was, but the guy's like messing with the bidet and he's like shooting the water in his face. Hilarious. Alright, come on, Instagram, load up. Oh, I took this big picture of this huge statue where I'm like looking at the butt. It's a huge statue here. Let me see if I can pull these up so you guys can check it out with me. I'm gonna have to switch okay. Maybe. Maybe it'll let me do it. Display capture, come on. There you are. There you aren't. I've only been gone for 2 weeks. Why are you doing this to me? Alright guys, hold on. Stand by for technical difficulties. Alright. Anyway, so it was weird. This one marketplace or whatever, they had this this 2 giant statues, and they're basically like looking, and then when you take the train to leave, they're looking at kind of like this entrance to this building, but it looks like a spaceship. It's really weird. Strangely, people who would most benefit from a bidet are heavily overweight people, as it would ensure to check cheek weight flattening poo alongside the butt and leaving smears for later. I apologize for those with delicate imagination. So basically, Americans need a bidet. I sent you. Oh my goodness, this must be for the Beaver Squad. All right. I see the screenshot. Just doesn't look like I have a invite. So, oh my gosh, that'll be interesting for sure. But yeah, so I guess people do have them here in America, because people were going crazy over my Instagram or on my Facebook when I was like, oh, we don't have these here, and they're like, yes we do, you're just not in the right places. Like, easy there, killer. Come on, display capture, you know you want to do it. Maybe. Oh, we got it. Let me just fix this. Okay. There's my Instagram. So we're gonna go in reverse order. So this is one of the pictures from the gardens here, so you get some better pictures here in a minute. Oh, this was cool. There's just like this random piano out there that was like all graffitied up, and this girl just started to play it. And it was really cool because it was actually on a Sunday when we would have been normally doing the open mic, so. This was interesting. It was so good though. So this is basically a corn dog, and what they do is they put like a potato on it as well. It's battered like with potatoes, so they cut it up and they flip it out, and then they dip it all in there, and then they put sugar on top of it. Tastes amazing. That's the only way I could do it. LOL. That's funny. Yeah, this clam was, like, the shell was bigger than the bowl, which is why I took that picture. Not for innuendo purposes at all. It's an oyster, sorry. Oh, this right here. Yeah. This is one of the video game districts. So when you're in Korea, you see that hallway? It goes all the way down to the end. Both sides for the entire district was like this. Nothing but video games and statues, and it was amazing. I'd spent like an entire week in Seoul trying to find this, and I finally did, and of course I did on the day that that day was bullshit, honestly. The directions and the blog to get to this area fucked me up. I lost like 3 hours trying to get there. It was horrible, but it was worth it to check it out.
It's a Japanese game, huh?
Oh, I don't know. And yes, they will actually give you a USB for your Xbox 360 that has all the games dating back to 1978 on there for a fee. It's like a freaking kid in a candy store here.
She said Xbox One and Xbox One X won't allow it. It's only Xbox 360.
You failed to ask her to join you on the open mic. However, you were looking for the photo for traditional wedding clothing, remember? Yeah, it was crazy. I know, Stormy. Alright, here's the picture of that big ass that I was talking to you guys about. Wisecrack, that's hilarious. This is out here just in between going from one marketplace to the other. Alright, so this is that, remember I told you guys about that 6-mile hike to Seoul Tower? And then I told you how when you got to the very top you're rewarded? This is what that looked like, okay? That's where we started, right here. That big ass used a bidet, yeah, exactly. It's a one big ass bidet. Okay, so this white tower that you see here, that hotel, we walked across the street from there to kind of start our journey. Alright guys. Where we started. Where we finished. Okay, so you had to like literally go here, there's a park, and then you had to go here to the parking lot, and then you had this freaking windy thing, and we always like end up all the way over here. And then those were all the different tags of those things I told you that people buy and put their names on and stuff like that. And then if you like were to come back inside a little bit, then you'd be in the Starbucks area and overlook all of this. Pretty amazing. Here's the bidet. Fancy. Way too many buttons. I just use the buttons on the side of the... It's a lot easier. Oh, this was when we first got into Seoul. Off the train. You can see like all the different buildings. Looks like a lot like kind of like New York. Yeah, it's like this now. We almost took this guy home with us, but apparently they have to be 4 months old. He was only 2 months old. This is their version of grilled cheese. Basically, it's like a mozzarella thing, and they just grill it up, and then they give you like a little bit of sauce to dip it in. It's amazing. Miss it. Random coffee shop just had like almonds in their ice cream. So good. See, so if you guys are not on my Instagram, you need to be on my Instagram. Yeah, it was crazy how amazing this stuff was. When we first got into, so I guess this was our second stop, but we actually did the traditional housing in Korea. So you know, it's like the ones that you see like on the old school movies where you have the sliding doors, and basically for us it was just a living room. So you basically had to pull out mats to sleep on, and then a bathroom. And all the bathrooms in Korea are basically just a bathroom shower combo. So you just have a shower head and you have a drain that's right next to the toilet. Really odd. So again, very thankful for that we have separate toilets and bathtubs here. But yeah, this was like a prune tea was given to us by our host. This is one of the pictures from the garden that we went to. So remember I told you it was all lit up like Christmas? The entire garden was kind of like this. Everywhere you would go, there'd be like lights in different sections and stuff. Like, if you ever went there and you didn't get laid, I'm just saying, like, that's like the perfect spot, perfect first date, seal the deal. And this is my first welcome to Korea. This guy. Oh my god. I didn't tell you guys, huh? I think I did on the stream there. So yeah, mostly just food on my Instagram. Every once in a while I'll do these motivational quotes, post about the open mic, etc. Alright guys, I forgot to tell you. I can't believe I forgot this. So I think we were this is still in the countryside, nothing like this in the city, but definitely in the countryside. We went to this restaurant, okay, and we were looking for some sort of, kind of like a barbecue, and basically, it smelled like really funny when we went in there, and my wife was like, oh, she goes, that smells awful, I don't know what it is, and right there, on the menu, it said that in Korean, it basically said that they serve dog, and we instantly knew kind of what that smell was. So we had to get up and walk out there. It was horrible. There's only like 1 or 2 places I think that had that, and oddly enough, there's like a dog. Like the people across the street had a dog as a pet, but it was so weird that that was actually a thing. And of course, like, the next place that we went to, the whole district was filled up with, like, pet grooming, and that's where we saw that dog that, you know, my wife wanted to pick up and stuff like that. So, definitely odd. And that's a real thing, I guess. So, it's not a mainstream, but it does exist. That's not info for a PG-13 channel. Yes, you're right. Yep, totally is not. Hello, Georgia Peach. How are you? Hope all is well. Alright, how long have I been going? 2 hours. Wow, time flies. Alright, guys. Give me a second here. I'm gonna go ahead and, because we're all still feeling the effects here of travel. Like I said, everybody's still been sick. My son, I think he got it the worst, but he's better now, and now it's basically like my spouse and stuff like that. So that means that I'm gonna be doing dad duty. So I'm gonna thank you, Stormy. Appreciate it. Exactly. Give me 1 second, guys. We're gonna find. Oh yeah. Okay. Perfect. Let me just make sure that stream is actually active this time instead of an empty host, because that would be horrible. Well, not that I've done that before, right? I'm alive. I've been here, just not said hey yet. Hope you all feel better. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been rough for everyone else. I've been feeling some of the effects with like headaches and stuff like that, but I think part of it's also because of the fires that have been going on here, stuff like that. But it seems to be getting a little bit better. Definitely noticed that my cough has kind of improved a little bit too. So, but yeah, hopefully, hopefully you guys got a little bit of insight into some of the cool stuff in Korea. Hopefully you learned some things of not to visit while you're there, things like that, or if you guys end up going, something like that, let me know. I'll definitely kind of give you some of the highlights and help you avoid some of those lowlights and stuff like that. And appreciate you guys stopping by. Honestly, it's been really cool, like, to kind of get back. I had I don't know, like I said, when you go through a reset, you go through welcome back. Like and I think anytime that you leave the country and you end up kind of like missing home and stuff like that, or going through some tough stuff, reset is really good. And this was essentially kind of what that was for me. I was able to kind of reset, regain some perspective. I love that. No, you're good, man. I'm glad you enjoy that. Yeah, what we'll do is I got another poem here, and then kind of wrap up on these credits as well. Not too many credits here, which is perfectly okay. I'm just glad that you guys are here with me today. It's good to be back here in the States with you guys. I have to pull it from Facebook, Stormy, so what I'll do is I'll pull it on there and then I'll post it up on the Discord. Don't leave. Been dealing with a few things, but things are hopefully mellowing out. Yeah, T Gomez, did you ever get set up with the stream, or did you decide that was something you're gonna do, or? I know it's something you talked about there, so definitely, and again, guys, I will be hanging out here, again, my son, I know he's coming back from fishing today, so I know that I'll be kind of taking care of him and stuff like that, and don't hang out more on my behalf. So, no, it's cool, like, I appreciate you guys, and, if anybody wants to kind of hang out, like, offline, I can chat a little bit in Discord, we can watch some streams together, something like that, and then because of us not doing like a full stream today, I'll be back sometime this week. We'll be doing, I may actually try and get some hiking out, this week, and so if so, I'll definitely bring you guys with me, and I think that'll be cool, so you guys can do, so, maybe we'll do a vote. If you guys either want a sunrise or sunset hike / stream. Maybe closer to the holidays for streaming. Okay, cool. Man, you guys are amazing. Really, like, when I come back, I don't know. I get really, like, antsy, I guess, because sometimes I forget, like, I feel like sometimes I go in circles, and then maybe I forget that, like, I guess just because I get, like, so lost in transitioning and trying new things, that I always worry that, like, if the content, or if I will be good enough for you guys. So I'm always thankful when you guys come back around. Really do appreciate you all. Jen with 2 wins, thank you so much for hanging out today. I'm glad that I know I got a chance to check out just a small portion of your stream the other night. I wasn't feeling the best, but I did come in with the host and was able to just kind of watch for a little bit. But thank you so much for coming in and hanging out. Very glad to have you as part of the community. And guys, I'm gonna basically kind of just do a poem here, and then we're gonna go ahead and raid Creative Streamer. And again, if you have the ability to, make sure that you're able to really just, if you're able to, spend some time with the people we raid, get to know them. If you're not able to, it's okay. You know what I mean? So, glad to be here chatting. Thank you. I personally love your content. Thank you, Lourdes. I appreciate it. Regardless of Poetic Justin returning, which is good, but what is more important is the following. Welcome back to all the cool people and mods in this community, and I hope you've all been well. Thank you, Stormy. Not sure what you're talking about, but I just showed up and I love your content. Thank you, Lourdes. No, you're good. What I was saying was that, like, Korea was, like, really, like a good reset for me. I've kind of been going through some stuff, kind of touching base with depression, just not everything is lined up the way that I want it to. And, I talked about how a lot of times, when I talk about the positive mental attitude and positivity, I do it just as much for myself as I do for other people. And one of the things that really hit me is the former lead singer Chester Bennington for Linkin Park. He had an interview where he basically talked about how when he gets in his headspace, and how for him, it's like the worst place where he can be, and when he's not helping other people, then he basically gets lost in himself. And I just identified a lot with it, and I think part of that was kind of like an eye-opener, so one of the songs that they had that I recently came in contact with was called One More Light. Has really kind of been like this big reset button for me. And so what I was saying is that when I came back from that, I had a lot of different things that I wanted to go forward and pursue, but I always am surprised, that people appreciate what I do. So, random fact, I have 5 drawers full of pens, markers, pencils, oils, and pastels. Wow, that is a lot. You can get a lot of coloring and artwork done. Okay, let me do this, guys. I'm gonna play this song just because if anybody's going through something, I want you guys to kind of take this in, and I'll come back and I'll close.
Should have stayed. Were the signs I ignored? cares when someone's time runs out? If a moment is all we are, or quicker, who cares if one more light goes out? Well, I do. Who cares if one more light goes out in the sky of a million stars? It flickers. Who cares when someone's time runs out? If a moment is all we are, or quicker, who cares if one more light goes out? I do. I do.
Alright guys, thank you so much. Like I said, that's just a song that's resonating with me at the moment here. So, you know, it's funny how music can do that for you, and you know, it's so powerful. But then, when you understand maybe sometimes the why behind the why, that makes a big difference. So, this is one of the newer poems. I read this at the very beginning here, but as you guys go into the world this week, you know, your traditional working and, you know, even your families and stuff like that, you know, just be the light, you know what I mean? Because we have limited time. And as always, you know, just make sure that you're being who you are, you know? So it's actually Linkin Park who sings that song, and it's called One More Light. And I highly recommend for you to check out the live version, because you can see all the emotions that he puts into it. There's at the very beginning, he's holding hands with the crowd, and at some point when he gets to the chorus, basically the crowd is like touching his face, and he's touching them, and he starts crying over them. It's really emotional, and so it really like got to me as I was watching this, because I was thinking about how, you know, he ended up taking his life. And you know, it's crazy that somebody who could outpour that much, you know, didn't have an outlet to be himself or somehow be able to get it out, unfortunately. And that's why it's so important for me to let you guys know that if you are struggling, then please reach out to somebody. And you know, I think I was listening to this song, and that's where this poem really came from here. So, judged by the stars and millions of people, he prayed for the universe and the entire city. They wanted him dead. He thought they were pretty. But he judged them too, out of pity. While they rose and slept, they aligned. In unity they were of sound and mind. They identified themselves with the sun. But the sun never spoke or sang, it just spun. He pondered, wondered, he questions why they judged him so. Was it how he spoke? The way he wrote? His ability to remember the scholarly and quote and recite the very lines that changed his mind from one of them into one of a kind? He could not undo what he had become, what he had already done. He could not uncast the hexes from his past. He could no longer wear his two-faced mask. Before the judgment, before the labels, he, before becoming the villain, was just a man. Before the judgment, before the labels, they were just wanting to be saved. Yet they spend their time judging he instead. He, by definition, is we. They, by definition, is us. He versus they, we versus us, the same universal stardust. It's no wonder why we're lacklustering, wandering, wondering, waiting for wanderlust. Guys, I hope you go into the world this week, and I hope that, you know, I hope that you're given the opportunity to be exactly what you need to be, which is yourself, because that's more than good enough. And anybody else that tells you differently is an asshole. Because we're all the same, to the core, you know, but we're all very different. And that's a beautiful thing. You know, we should celebrate diversity. We should celebrate different minds and opposition. You know, and as we go into the world, you know, we definitely need to be more beacons. And again, I hope that if you guys are inspired at all, I would love to be able to hear your thoughts. And you know, moving forward, you know, I want to collaborate with people who are of similar mindset. You know, so if you guys yourself are interested, or if you know people that you know, are of similar mindset, then let's get them together. Let's create something out of nothing. Let's be beautiful. Let's make creativity. Let's make art. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys stopping by, even those in the lurks and the shadows. Definitely means a lot. And with that being said here, I'm gonna go ahead and raid Turtle Girl. She is also a creative streamer, also an artist. I've had a few interactions to be able to check out her artwork, and I know that she's consistently in other people's streams supporting. So definitely appreciate you guys with the ability to go ahead and stop by, say hello. You are beautiful, but not as much as your wife. That makes me conflicted overall. Thank you, Poe. You're a beautiful soul as well, man. Love you. Alright, so for those of you who do not have the sub emotes, you can use that. I really need to... I don't know why I always forget until the very end about creating this, and then I like forget when I'm going back and doing stuff, so... Take care, Poe. Appreciate you, man. Alright. And if you guys do have the sub emotes, you can use that one here. So we're going to go ahead and raid Turtle Girl. I hope you guys have a good night. I will be back on tomorrow evening. Should be around 7... let's say 7 Eastern, I think is that, and we're actually going to be going into no open mic this week, but we're going to resume next week. So so tomorrow will actually be a little bit different scene there. We're probably going to do some IRL, and then we'll probably transition to a little bit of gaming, and then we'll start the process for setting up the podcast too. So again, hope you guys have a good day or evening depending on where you're at, and I appreciate you guys. Much love. And make sure that you go and say hi to Turtle Girl as well. Oh no, she just left. Oh, she went to go get water. Okay, she's back. Alright, guys. Be well, and family and friends. Thanks, Stormy. Bye, guys. Much love. Thank you, T. Gomez.